But from a viewer perspective, it's literally just watching players go A ramp every round, and it's just like, yeah.
Smokes and spray into smokes.
Yeah.
Smoke diffuses and spray into smoke diffuses. Well, we are on Dust2. That is the second map of the series, and dupreeh will be up very quickly indeed. Always nice when the cat smoke is there because you can hide behind it.
Well, tall task ahead of dupreeh, man in question right here. He's gonna have to really step up this map. We have not seen Astralis play Dust2 in quite some time, and not since the roster change. So there is an element of surprise here for Astralis, and we'll see what the adjustments are that they have made.
Got some nice support flashbangs for dupreeh, just turning away as another one came in from Glaive, but couldn't turn back in time. And Big find themselves in a 2 versus 3 scenario. Xantares trying to hold long down, but that will be denied. So Tizian has a lot of work to do now. He's got 2 flashes for himself. We'll see if he tries to force some map control while the smoke is up, having a look towards C2, looking over the smoke now, but that won't be there forever. Pulling the flashbang out, they know exactly where he is now. He found a 1v1, but he'll lose it. And the pistol will go the way of Astralis.
Fantastic start for Astralis. And yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on dupreeh in particular. I like that Maui was emphasizing Searson and Xantares for big. I mean, the AWPer and, well, the main rifler for big. There's a lot going on there for them. But on Astralis' side, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on dupreeh to step up here with that AWP and see what he's capable of. Curious to see if Astralis want to go for the double off kind of setup as well to shake things here. But dupreeh versus Searson is going to be a very interesting duel, without a doubt. And as I say that, Glaive is the one sporting the scout. At least initially here. So that's the thing. We're just going to have a bunch of... It's going to be... there's going to be a lot to figure out here watching Astralis play on Dust2 with Bubsky.
See if they can win a consecutive round. Astralis. CT side isn't always easy on Dust2. So winning the pistol, I think, is crucial. In the opening half, if you will. Big now posturing for a take of the short position. What's the mid to B smokes? Magisk already boosted. Forced to fall off now, but he'll see, don't know when it's there. Now, there's only 2 players towards this A bomb site, including Zipex on long, and he's very committed to long. Glaive has a flashbang and a scout. You can see him moving towards long as well, as this is a proper split that we're seeing attempted by Big Clan. And Glaive and Zipex are going to have to hold somewhere, and it looks like that'll have to be long. Oh, the timing, my God. Molly's on the site. Zipex moving forward now, sees one fall away, but does he chase because it is a bait to some degree. Tabson lurking with the Desert Eagle. So we can see shots being taken, bombs being planted, and we still have a lurker at long, so Astralis are in some trouble here.
Oh, what a shot from Searson. Sits Glaive down. dupreeh and Zipnix, though, superior firepower. They're making the difference here. Tabson long range is going to find a kill on Zip. This is a 2v1, and Tizian has no health. Doesn't matter, dupreeh shoots him in the face. So we will get that bomb defused here in a few moments for Astralis, and they will survive the round. Turned into an expensive one, losing the 3rd man. That always hurts. It means that somebody's going to have to force, but I think Astralis right now, as far as they're concerned, is just about getting rounds on the board. No matter how you got to do it, you need a strong start, similar to what we saw on Nuke, considering how close the second half was on Nuke. Clearly, Astralis, you know, they're still figuring things out, so every round is going to matter here. And CT side Dust2 as well. I mean, it's important. So that was a buy coming in from Big. So with that bomb plant, we're going to get an eco coming in here from Big. Still a couple of deagles, a couple of nades, and Glaive, mad lad that he is, charging up to top mid, looking for shots, looking for kills. Tizian is a dead man. And dupreeh watching for the peak in lower dark as well. Nice setup here from Astralis.
Yeah, very strong indeed. So much utility for Big, but with only 3 players, can't imagine they'll get anywhere close to what their intentions were. Little jump peek, just looking for info now as they maybe head for an attempted execute into the B bomb site. The problem with these grenades is it telegraphs your intentions. Bubsky, though, on the B bomb site has no grenades to respond. Magis could deploy a Molotov in response, but he's posted up the AWP instead. Flashbangs, and they may separate the push at the very least. Santares now with the opening kill. You can see that Glaive is in the tunnel just as the molly goes. Not going to target the bomb planter there. They could have taken some money away. Prioritizing the man with the rifle. The rest of the cleanup, we'll see how it goes. They've lost 2 players now. Santares looking for more impact. You can see them waiting for Dupree to get into position. And there's the headshot from the back. 3-0 for Astralis.
Nice recovery from Astralis and keeping 3 alive. That was important. Plenty of time for the defuse. 3-0, you're right. And now we get to see Big Clan. What have you got in store for us now that you finally got money for the AWP? You finally got money for everything that you could want, including the Krieg for Tapson. So now, unfortunately, the spawn is kind of ugly. They don't really get very fortunate with the spawn. They don't necessarily have a long spawn on Big. So it's not going to be the prettiest situation. They just run straight down suicide. Not going to find anybody just yet, although Bubsky's going to he's going to feel the heat in a moment. That looked very promising for a quick push through the doors. But Big decided to slow it down.
Tapson's like basically Krieg seems to be his primary rifle on the T side, which is very interesting. Because it is certainly an acquired taste now.
I think he's the only one.
Yeah.
That I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know anybody else who's consistently buying it over an AK.
Sure. So again, we've got those mid to B smokes now. Last time they went towards the A bomb site. We'll see what they choose to do on this occasion. Glaver's made a gap in the smoke, and that's a nice response to the incendiary. Big again will be heading towards the A bomb sites, it looks like. No lurkers towards long on this occasion. Flashes in both directions. Huge headshot from Searson. Keto, rather, sorry.
Welcome to opping on Dust2, Dupree.
Short plant activated. Glaive will thin a number somewhat. Fall back into the smoke again. Zipex still with possession of long. We've got a huge flank from Tabson via B. And he may get something from this, as there are a number of players in CT spawn, including Magisk. Oh, hello, and goodbye. That makes things very awkward indeed, as they're stuck now. They're trapped. They are contained like lab rats.
What can they hope to do here? They can't get to the op. Definitely not in any situation to save now. They're pretty much done. Although Big, I mean, it would be advantageous to take these guns off of them. They're eventually going to catch out Glaive, and there's Bubsky looking the wrong way. So nice stabilization here from Big. And their first buy round goes swimmingly. And so that's Dupree, you know, it's just welcome to this new hell, which is to try and op on CT side Dust2. Because when they execute a site, you can expect the flashes to force you off the angle, you can expect the mollies, and then it's just going to be, you just have to be faster. You have to be faster, you have to get that kill on Catwalk and slow them down. So Dupree is just going to, you know, that's a taste of what he is going to be in store for him going forward as an opper on Dust2. Not pleasant at the pro level. And Astralis, we're really counting on Big Clan pushing long this round, but no, this time around Big is actually just going to go straight out mid very quickly. M4 here on Dupree, going to catch him off guard. And we'll see a quick adjustment here from Big Clan, looking like they want to try and go up Catwalk fast.
Oh,
the spray through the smoke, though, going to shut him down. And
it gets even worse. The bomb's been dropped again. Sniper rifle collected. Tizian and Tabson now versus 5. There's Glaive with some information on the kill camera. Repositioning now, Tizian, got to be careful. Bubsky can't really peek into this, but he'll do so anyway. Got some help for Dupree, and down goes the bomb. Tabson blind, fighting a scout. 1 versus 4. That may soon be the score. His shadow will be spotted there as well, so it's easy for Bubsky. If you're up in that corner, your shadow shows in CT spawn. You can see the sun in the corner there.
Yep.
So easy kills.
Early
4-1 for Astralis.
4-1. Dude, this is so big. Not expecting Dupree to have an M4 at all. The damage that they were able to output in mid is nuts. No way that Big expect that kind of performance coming in from Astralis. So AWP, I mean, it's just as good as it gets for Astralis. Saving 2 AKs in AWP and the scout on Zip. That is fantastic. Searson, he's going to have that opening shot. Gets chased away from the angle. And these flashes, man, making it very difficult to assess what's going on at long. And so that whole time, you know, that was all just to set Searson up for a quick peek. But the rest of Big gathered up to hit this B site. Glaive seems to sense that something is amiss, though. He's rotated over here to help out Bubsky. Oh, and that smoke. That should, yep. Just immediately you see Big just turn around like, right, all right. Let's go ahead. Now that we know that we've used up one of those smokes on the B site, let's just go ahead and rotate back around. We're not pushing the smoke, boys.
Off they go. However, this entire time there have been 3 players on the A bomb site, and as things go quiet on B, there'll be a timely smoke at A long. This is Astralis you're playing against. It was never going to be that easy. 45 seconds and Glaive is wondering about the B tunnels. Xantares is doing the same. Maybe looking to show some presence. Man, he must be very careful indeed. That's a lot of information. Maybe Big Clan have to speed up now, but they're still being denied.
I like
it
this,
looks
though.
like a plan C from Big Clan.
But now you're going to go challenge Dupree, right? Who's going to be the weak link in this situation?
Well, the palm tree flash is ready. That can allow them to swing. Again, the flashbang goes off behind the palm tree. They never see it coming. The palm tree is not solid, and Dupree can start the proceedings. Looking for a second swipe. Hold on a second. Magisk was maybe had a bad position. He got picked off at the palm tree. So there will be no palm tree flash. Keto moving in to plant the bomb now. Zipek starts to creep up forward with the scout. Bubsky's in trouble. Surely he's gone for. Searson now hunting for more. Very awkward position for both squads, but now it's just Glaive. Nice burst from him. 1 versus 2. Looking for Xantares at short. Oh, that's a nice 180 from him. Xantares peaks for the final headshot. Xantares and an AK, inseparable on many occasions. Good enough for a second round for Big Clan.
Indeed. Name it for a powerful duo. Xantares and the AK, dude, they just rip heads off left and right. And that's very weird. Yeah, Magus was just standing completely out in the open. So he got hard peeked and just wrecked there. So uncharacteristic to make unforced errors like that. And that's going to end up costing him pretty big here. And look at this force buy coming in from Astralis. Tag on to Glaive to start things off. Searson not going to get that kill, unfortunately for him. Dupree lurking around here in mid as well. So awkward stuff set up, and Big don't want to have anything to do with it. Straight out long here for Big. And I like this from Big. Just avoid the close quarters combat in mid where you can just get picked apart in crossfires. Just take over long. You have the advantage with the rifles. You have the AWP from Searson. Eye in the sky. Ooh, scary.
Yeah, 3rd attempt is good enough, but it might not be good enough to have an impact on this round as Big take position, and Astralis have lost it. 3 Deagles creeping around, subject to the spray behind the smoke. See if they offer themselves up for sacrifice. Magisk and Bubsky. This is a important round for Big Clan, because it does put Astralis onto full eco after this. And then they can start to finally get something going on their T side. Haven't really seen too much success from Big of late. Again, there was a long comeback attempted, but boy were they on the back foot in the second half of that game of Nuke. They won't want a repeat of that here on Dust2, and they move to 3 rounds.
Brilliant work, brilliant work. Glad to see Big stabilize early on here. I think we're going to see a lot of cat hits from Big. Because again, going into it, you know, all eyes are on Dupree. Oh. Well, looks like we got another cam issue here from Big, so we'll get that squared away. But I like this game plan from Big. It's just identify where Dupree is going to be playing from, and then proceed to punish Dupree over and over again. Really put him out of sorts. He's not going to have that much experience with the op on Dust2. It's a difficult role. It takes a long time to adjust to it. You have to learn all the timings for when you're going to get flashed and how to hold catwalk that way, because it's a freaking nightmare at the pro level. You're spending an eternity blind. And so it's I think it's a really good strategy here from Big to just keep hitting catwalk and putting Dupree just, you know, in a nightmare situation.
Well, where does the rifle go? Short boost for Magisk to have an impact. Again, you can see from this angle, Searson won't be able to see the suicide spot, which means Magisk has a chance to push up if he wants to. But for now, they'll be looking towards lower tunnel. But there's no presence towards B from Big. They're all at long, all 5 players. They may wait a while, see what Astralis have to offer, but they've already been proactive towards the B bomb site. The question is, how do they get into position on A, especially in time? With Zipex on short, maybe they'll quickly hop over mid if they think it's safe. Maybe worth a gamble at this point. If they go CT spawn, then they could have a multi-peak with plays on a low ground, although they'll probably be smoked off. See the grenade start to be deployed. Anti-flash in case of a swing through the smoke from Astralis as well. Molly's behind that short plant to push the CTs away. That leaves Dupree in no man's land. Very important grenade indeed. The entire bomb site is covered. Solid take from Big, and that neutralizes most of the threat. The rifle's gone as well.
Really isn't a whole lot that Astralis can hope to do. But when Big are allowed to just walk up and they have all of the nades for a full execute like that, it's going to be a very difficult situation for Astralis. Nice shot from Bubsky. Doing as much damage as he can, but that's going to be the tying round here for Big. 4-4. Tied up, looking good. Xantares, he's fist bumping everybody in his mind. Unfortunately for him, Searson isn't there right now, so nobody for him to fist bump. Just kind of has to sit there and, yeah, be part of the team. But this is very nice work here from Big. They've identified the weak spot for Astralis. And it seems like they just want to keep putting the pressure there. Keto with the long spawn, going to take that peek very quick. Out behind the flashes. Can he win the duel, though? Dupree is rotated over with that, not with the up with an M4.
Oh my god, what? Searson, how have you pulled that one out of the hat? That causes some serious problems. There's a chance to make a play towards B bomb site. While all these guys are fighting towards long, surely the push has to come through. Magisk has to be expecting something. And there's the initial warning. He is so alone now, spraying through the smoke, but somehow not getting a kill either. He's in trouble. There is a cross through middle doors. He's got one flash which he delivers, but that's it. Almost inevitable there, the bomb site being taken, and it is. 3v4. Outpositioned Astralis will have to fall back and save now.
Does Glaive check? What happened to... They can get that AK, can't they? Didn't Keto have an AK? Am I mistaken? Because he died behind blue at long, and yet none of them are checking. Huh. Well, thank you very much for answering my question. He just had an M4.
Ah.
That's it. Well, fine and fair enough. Thank you very much. So, yeah, obviously, they all already have M4s. They're going to get a nice crossfire here. Maybe they can actually get an AK out of this situation. Nice fight being put up here, making it very expensive for Big. And so we're going to be trading the guns around. Hopefully, the AWP will survive it. Tabson
nice.
Going to be hanging out. Searson will survive with the Krieg, but now we have an AK saved in the hands of Dupree, who is currently just murking everybody. I mean, saying that he is, the one that you need to challenge if you're Big, but he is sitting at 14 kills right now.
I like that little play from Big towards the end. If you have high health, then you can save at the car for the default plants, double stack or the default. So Searson didn't want to have the AWP go into the hands of the CTs as he had to exit the site. Always nice to keep an eye on the little things there. And indeed, Astralis will not have an AWP in round number 10. I'll be looking to bring things back now. Oh, that is an angle. All right, then. Zipex will maybe think twice about this position, but he will exchange a grenade in response. Boost behind the boxes. On old Dust2, you could boost on blue and you could look through the doors. Some degree, very sneaky angle. Shot in the head through the door, but Dupree is alive, and that gives a 5 versus 4 for Astralis. They'll boost them up for a potential mid to B later on. And Bubsky will quietly head towards the A bomb site.
This is troublesome. But they still have plenty of nades, so it's still a very winnable situation here for Big. And the last time they were able to remove Magisk fairly easily. Glaive this time around, yeah, he's going to have his flash set up. And should not be peeking from Goose. So there should be no free kills this time for Big. Electing not to use a Molotov and Goose either.
Tabson's gone wide enough to avoid the flashes, but can't avoid the headshot. And that bomb's very committed to the A bomb site now. 26 seconds as Dupree a little slow on the trigger finger there. Glaive at Goose. Zipex is no. There are no flashes on this A bomb site now, so things will become a little awkward, but time is on their side. And there's too many targets all of a sudden, and Astralis will survive with 4, rescue the AWP as well, and make it to 5-5.
What a nice hold. What a nice hold from Astralis. One step after another, they were ready for it. So making the adjustments. Not having that AWP in play just allows for Dupree to just kind of be on the other side of the map. They put Bubsky in his usual spot over here on ramp. And it is an adjustment that Big were not expecting, and they get punished hard. And now this round is going to be Glaive with the AWP, so they really are just trying to change things up. Glaive taking on that in-game leader role, just saying, you know what, Dupree, you're killing everybody with the rifle. You just go do that, and let me worry about the op. And so Big Clan making the adjustments to go over here towards this B site. Smoke goes down. That's not going to stop them. Flashes over the top. Actually, they do hesitate. That's awesome. I thought that HE was going to do a whole lot more damage. But these bullets will do fine.
Bubsky now is on an island. He has a lot to do here. Finds himself 1-1. Looking for the transfer. Not quite, though. Advantage Big. 3 versus 2. And Astralis don't seem to be going for this one. Really trying to get as many buys as possible in this CT half and not throw good money after bad. So again, Big with a brute force into the B bomb site. This will be enough for them to take the lead once again. This is their pick of Dust2, Big Clan. Looking to bring things to a deciding map of Vertigo after losing on Nuke. This score there. Not telling the whole story in case you missed it. It was, what, 12-3? Or something along those lines in the first half in favor of Astralis on Nuke.
12-3, yes, it was 12-3. Yeah. And then Big proceeded to just run it way too, way back. A little bit too close for comfort there for Astralis on that first map. But I mean, it's the patience kind of game where you're just trying not to make too many crazy mistakes that's going to let Big get ahead. You're just kind of whittling them down. Such a shame that Magus wasn't able to get that spray. I was wondering where Searson got his kill, so he actually just caught that lurk and that rotated mid. So really nicely done there by Big. We're getting a tactical timeout. First one of the map called for Astralis. Going into a bit of an awkward round for him. Money is not in a healthy space.
Yeah, the buy is coming through. It's actually a pretty reasonable buy. They're going for a second AWP Astralis.
The nades are going to take a big hit on this one, though. But still, I mean, they actually managed to get a fairly reasonable buy, all things considered.
They may play spawns a bit. Perhaps there'll be a boost towards short. Got to clarify who's boosting who, if that is the case. Who's going where. How they use these 2 AWPs.
Double op. This is what I was wondering if we were going to see it from the start. But again, it's completely different. Glaive and Bubsky going to use the AWPs this round. Not Dupree and Magisk. Very interesting indeed. Bubsky, does he make it here in time? Barely. Does he realize, did he see somebody go to the right? It looks like it. Molotov in. He's going to have this angle now as well. Very difficult situation. And yeah, that smoke allows Zanteris to escape.
Yeah, well now that'll give some positional advantage. Bubsky going aggressive actually with the AWP. There'll be an exchange towards the B tunnel. Love to see this, but Zanteris may be expecting it. Oh, further away from the point of contention, but Bubsky will still get there. In the meantime, we've got 3 players around this A bomb site, including Glaive on the low ground, starting to fall away now. Some incendiaries in a response. Look at that. Imagine running through all that. You can't do anything about that, really. They've just got to wait. Big. Molotov's deployed now. Flashes towards long as well. The chain flashes take Dupree off the angle, and the push comes through. Support flashbangs for the player on the site in Glaive. So many flames around this A bomb site. Finally, they go away. But Big have far superior position. Haven't had to have that race down sniper rally because Dupree's been forced all the way towards long.
No, this is an exceedingly difficult situation for Astralis. They need some good flashes over the top, and there it is. Dupree, ask and he shall deliver.
Yeah, Dupree becomes the bait there. All the way down long. Had no idea Glaive was around the corner, and that changes everything. made assumptions. They all fell back due to those flashbangs, and that's the crucial play that allows Big to Astralis to retake the bomb site in brutal fashion. 4 players alive as well. Were you fantastic?
6-6. Astralis getting 6 rounds on this CT side.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Against Big on Big's favored map. I mean, yes, this is actually a very good result here for Astralis so far in the first half. Loving the aggression from Bubsky, the confidence it takes to make that kind of play. Good on him. And well, the rest of them just hit their shots. Wonderful stuff here from Astralis in the retake. Made that look effortless. So now Big are going to be the ones really struggling here. Nades are in, and now we get the full-on aggression coming in from Big. Once again, they were very quick towards Upper Dark, and it's looking like, hey, we had success hitting this B site. Let's just go back to that. Curious to see if Bubsky's going to get the results with that AWP again.
Oh, got to be careful with the mollies. Double mollies, and they're lining up now through a very tight choke point. Look at the damage, and it gets even worse. Magis just slowing them down so much with that AUG. Bubsky creeping around the smoke, and then there was one. Tizian, 1 versus 4 in the smoke. They're charging him. Down he goes. Astralis making some money late now as they take the lead on the CT side of Dust2. That's not a good indicator for Big.
Bubsky, I like that. Quiet little grin. Definitely did a fantastic job there making the adjustments, not getting caught out. They did double molly, but, you know, kept his cool and hit his shots. Excellent work for him. Very glad to see the turnaround here as he continues to get more and more comfortable now that he is playing all of the maps for this team. And just taking a quick look going into this series, he had a 1.0 rating, best rating he's had in a while.
Oh, this is a race into the short position. Love the bounce while I'm talking about HE. The combo is going to be devastating. Stuck by the molly. Where is the bomb? I think it may have fallen down. I'm not quite sure just yet, but the CT's here, the Cavalry's here, and the flicks are here for Dupree. A flurry of frags as they're stuck in a choke point, Big. And we move to the final round of the first half. Astralis cannot lose the lead before the sides change. But we'll see if Big can get a 7th round on the board. There'll be some shortcomings in their buy. The scout comes out for Searson, the Galil for Keto, but they'll have the grenades at the very least.
But they have the ideas. How do they go in now and actually get a winning round? Astralis have made the adjustments on the A site, realizing that Big were exploiting the weakness that the Dupree offered. Now they're going to go straight long rush. Everybody out. Very straightforward stuff here from Big. Glaive is just going to murk him, though. 1 kill for him already. Putting shots through. Dupree is there as well. 2-man advantage for Astralis, and the straightforward stuff coming in from Big is just not working.
Dupree warming up once again. He loves those kind of peaks, Dupree. Saw them in the first half as well, so it's a 2 versus 5 now for Big Clan. And that's just a long take. That's the beginning of the round. You can see Tizian moving up. The 1 smoke grenades. Again, you can smoke CT spawn with 1 grenade. Just got to learn it. That would leave Glaive active though, but I mean, he may be active anyway. Dupree now looking for 1 more. He's got 3 kills in this round as Searson versus the Worlds. So many angles for him, not going to happen. After a very back and forth game, Astralis pull away at half-time. 9-6 as they move to the T side. We'll see if Big have anything left after the break. Well then, Big have another uphill struggle. The CT side, 3 rounds down. The pistol round becomes very important indeed. Astralis will have Zipex and Glaive with 4 flashes and 2 smoke grenades. Glaive just dancing around in mid, seeing what's going on, looking for a smoke of the short box, the Xbox.
Very dainty.
Dainty.
Yeah, it just lands up there very nicely, you know.
In a somewhat polite fashion.
Indeed.
You may say.
Doesn't make too much noise, not too much of a fuss.
Flash through the middle doors.
Excuse me, just gonna go ahead and smoke this this box for a moment. That's unfortunate from Bubsky, making a little bit of noise, but nobody is holding close for Big Clan, so it's all right. It's not gonna cost him. We are gonna get that A split in a moment. Double flash on Zip, though, so we'll see how he decides to use this one. Glaive is gonna use one to open it up as well, and here we go. The push begins. Tijin out the gates, already hitting the headshot.
Engaging from blue, the flashbangs continue, and this is really going the way that Big needed it to. Barely taking any damage just yet. Well, that's pretty good. Shut it down. Keto and Xantares get a cheap helmet. Even better.
That is utterly soul-crushing if you're Astralis. That is a painful pistol round to lose. Just bam. Hey, look at those, that shift. Madness. But that is a very painful pistol round to lose there for Astralis. Still not going to stop them from going for the force buy. They did not get the bomb plant, so straight into Deagles. I don't know, that doesn't work. To Deagles. Handful of nades. And well, as far as Astralis are concerned, they are just going to be posted up, hoping that Big are going to peek them somewhere. Big themselves, fully bought up, no messing around. They realize that this is their golden opportunity here to get a strong start in this half. It's looking like it's going to be straight up catwalk. Maybe we can get a bomb plant out of this. Plenty of utility as well to create the space necessary.
Not being given much in this CT spawn. Mid to B position are Astralis with 4 smoke grenades in hand. What will they choose to do? Xantares now starting to wonder as Dupree heads towards long. Oh, hold on, I think he saw something. Oh, how was that not a headshot? He must have just strafed first. That was a kill all day, apart from today, of course.
How? That is so bizarre. Damn, that looked good. What a shame. That would have been sick. Now we're going to get that split of B by the looks of things with 35 seconds on the clock. Push is going to begin. And here we go. Explosive stuff. Keto trying to buy some time. A little flash out mid. Nicely done by Glaive. Takes his head off. Xantares, though, going to hold his own. Always a threat. Good for 1.
Oh, man. Well, this is a turn of events, isn't it? 4 versus 2 into B with a scout? I don't think so. I do not think so.
Very slow, measured approach there from Astralis. Big Clan realizing that they needed to make a play. And, of course, Glaive not going to get caught sleeping. He was ready for it. So very well done there. And Astralis, this is, you know, just as good as it gets. As far as they're concerned, tough to beat. And, you know, it's not like they've been terrible. But, yeah, Big have been prone to losing these second rounds even after winning the pistol rounds. And so Astralis, you know, it's not been the strongest performance on that level from Big. So we'll see if they can stabilize in the next round. Bomb goes boom. Astralis getting to double digits. And the Danes off to a start here. It looked so good for Big. It looked so good for Big Bardolph. Like they absolutely needed to get the 3 rounds and tie it up 9-9. Now you've got Astralis. They even saved guns for crying out loud. 2 FAMASs on the T side. Have you ever seen such a thing?
I haven't, actually.
2 FAMASs and MP9. Which side is it again?
Just thinking of all these webcams in this this era, second era of online Counter-Strike. Oh, I'll come back to that point later. There is a fight up for long here. Citizens landing a headshot through the smoke on Dupree in a mid position in the meantime. A T-spawn, actually. That bomb will have to be rescued. There'll be 4 players on the A bomb site for Big now. But Big are being proactive. They're looking towards short as well. Keto's in position with a Desert Eagle. So what is the Astralis play? Zipex has an off angle in case of a B push, which Xantares is almost threatening to do, as I can see on the radar. And they need to be proactive here to convert this round big. They can't just sit on this 5 versus 4 and hope for the best. Looking for the information now. They start to walk up towards top mid. Maybe if Bubsky rotates out of long with some good timing, he'll find us out. But if they head towards his position, this may be the go command for Astralis towards this B bomb site. Or the footstep is heard. That'll keep them focused on A. And indeed, immediately Astralis start pushing as well. Xantares up top now won't be good enough. Well then, a 4 versus 3 retake. Tizian has a defuse kill as well. They have to go for this one, surely. Classic angle from Glaive.
Bomb has been planted.
Down goes Tabson. Just now playing it close. Final utility deployed by Astralis. Well, so far so good as they try to hold on to this bomb site. We're at a trade, so Keto 1 versus 2. Too many targets. They'll hurt them, but it won't frag them. And the round goes the way of Astralis.
And Tamsin is just going to be having nightmares about that retake forevermore. What prompts him not to try and check left and just fully focus on the site, letting Glaive shoot him in the back of the head? That is definitely going to be a painful loss there. I think that's the key, because if you have the crunch onto the site, then all of a sudden you have that flank. That's a much more effective retake for Big, and they stand a much better chance of getting it done. And instead, just going down with a whimper. Well, looks like mid-aggression here from Big. They don't want to waste any time. Just going to get into the thick of it, see if they can catch anybody out here. And they do. Xantares with a headshot on Zipex. A lot of damage getting done here.
They need to keep them off these rifles. Keto's on his way to one, surely. He's going for the duel instead, trying to find Glaive. There must be an AK down somewhere.
Dude, Bowski's just like, why am I not in the action?
I can't even fight the MAC-10. I like this this era of webcams. I think it's good proof of concept for the female scene.
For the female scene?
Yeah, because there's a lot of nonsense. Let's not forget, I think it was Smiths who once played in place with his girlfriend in a tournament before. Let's never forget that. So I think the proof of concept makes it inexcusable for these setups not to happen in that space. But anyway, Big will be back on the bye now, and the Astralis are 4 rounds away from a 2-0 here on Dust2. Has he been spotted?
Well, you know, at least we know for a fact that Giuliano is not playing for Cadian. So that's good. But yeah, I get your point. That's interesting.
Yeah, just a side note. There's always some, all those tournaments, there's always some nonsense in them to some level. But that's one thing that they could certainly do without.
I like that lineup. I like that. That is very cool. But now we're going to get that push straight up catwalk here from Astralis. A little bit more straightforward. A lot of nades to work with. And there's the Molotov, forcing Tabson off. Takes an extra peek just to see if he can get a count on how many were coming around that corner. But now we're going to get the flashes over the top, and Astralis can slow down the pace just a little bit. 40 seconds. Bubsky just checking to see if anybody pushed up or dark. Not going to be the case. Need to be careful about running out of time now, though, Astralis. You're down to 30 seconds.
Information peak, and Dupree's been spotted. Indeed, 25 seconds, and there are 4 players in mid, so this is going to surely be a mid to B. Bomb recollected again. Xantares will be crucial now. He needs a multi-frag. Zipex fighting in CT spawn behind the smoke, and this one is really collapsing. Going in Big's favor now, and Bubsky may look to do some more damage. Does not want to die after time, though, and Searson will put him out of his misery. Well, it seems there's a chance of Big yet.
What a bizarre turn of events. Xantares, though, the god, given the chance, stands his ground, realizes he cannot back off to the side. He has to stand and fight. And he guts 3 of them on his own. That's amazing. This is it right here. Spacing was terrible for Astralis. Not swinging immediately to try and get that refrag. That is not something you can afford to do against a player of Xantares' caliber. But here we go. Straight out onto long for Zip. See if he can get any luck going his way. Molly's going to go behind Big Blue.
Ooh, headshot through the smoke onto Cat, spotting some players but running out of bullets. I think Astralis maybe going for a fast take of short, knowing that there was some aggression towards long there.
But they've got Zip still out long. He's still alive on this. I like this. Go now if you're Astralis. You have Zip to put the pressure on. Searson cannot get comfortable.
That molly actually limits where the CTs can hold from, but they can't be expecting a boost like this. This is completely brazen. Tizian right here in the smoke. That's a cheeky one from Vig, and they find themselves in a 5 versus 3 now. Zipex only got the Mac 10 on long, which is going to make it really hard for him to engage these players. He'll still find something from it though. We'll see if he can make it to the AWP. A lot of players on the way for him to do that. You can see Big starting to move back now. Such an awkward spot for Astralis. Smoke and a flash for Big. Looking to move towards the short position. Zipex running down. He's just got bad range for almost every engagement with this Mac 10. You can see Keto looking to post up now with the AWP. I don't think he's going to make it to that sniper rifle. Zipex, as much as he may want to. Magis looking for some burst now. And Big will survive with 4 players. Second AWP if they want it. They'll only be 3 rounds away now.
All the AKs getting picked up as well. Maximum save coming in. No, Tapson, where's your AK? No, Tapson. Missing out on the AK, but we still got double AWP, AK save for Xantares. So there's your combo made in heaven. Or hell, depending. Xantares with an AK on the CT side. Astralis are not going to be pleased about that when they figure it out. A lot of hesitation here from Astralis ends up costing him. So this is, I mean, it's what we saw there in the last round on the B split. It's what we saw here on the Cat. It's like a lot of hesitation, not fully committing Astralis. They need to just get up and go. Show some gumption, not hesitate. Bubsky and Dupree taking a lot of damage from that molly, but here we go. A split very fast. I like it.
Yep, they've separated Searson. I'm not sure if they've got a flash to take his angle away. Zipex has that last flash towards long, in fact, and he is focused on helping his teammates at long, and that's going to allow him a bomb plant at least. Pulled it. Oh, no, it's not actually Tapson. Just charging up that Cat position. And again, you can see him trying to draw the CT focus away towards long, so they've got something for the retake in order to get that bomb plant at the very least on the bomb site. But Tapson says no.
Not happening. That is a painful one. Should still be able to get nades on everybody. Should still be able to get a pretty reasonable buy. But that was still a painful experience there for Astralis. They were really hoping for that bonus 800. Hoping for the bonus 800. So, painful loss, but still. Double digits for Big on the T side now. 10 to 12. Slowly closing the gap. As we get a quick play out long, Magisk is going to just go leaping up. Full flash. Doesn't matter. 2 quick kills here for Big Clan. On opposite sides of the map, no less. Keto with the peek in the lower dark gets rewarded with a kill. Big starting to hit their stride again. I'm getting flashbacks to the second half of Nuke right now. Big won a lot of rounds that they shouldn't have.
It's gone a bit too deep, that incendiary. See him competing for the angle to peek. Dupree is ready for that one though. AWP taken away. That's a significant weakness now for Big Clan. They have another one there in the hands of Keto. And they've got some rotation as well. A big focus on this A bomb site. Oh, hold on a second. Just a wild peek from Tapson is rewarded. Dupree not quite ready for that one. Some flashes as well. Bomb spotted towards long, and he will hunt. Glaive in the meantime will try to find some space for his team. Zipex still showing the bomb on long. Now that is a solid Molotov, which is going to leave Tapson in so much trouble. Glaive now cutting off the rotation. Beautiful work as they split. Now they can combine again in the remaining 30 seconds and choose where to make a play.
Somehow fighting your way back into this round in such a fashion. 20 seconds though. They have to just group up and go, but Tizian is going to gut them. Over the top, he's going to glance into mid as soon as this fight happens. Sure enough, but he doesn't drop the bomb. 10 seconds left, and Xyp9x has to hold W. He can get in here now, just barely get this bomb planted. Tizian having difficulty, can't just immediately run behind. Nice double molly in, though. Really trying to spread that out.
Gone far with the HP, but Zipex is up close, delivers the headshot when he needs to. That was pretty damn clutch. Gonna rescue an AWP, he has a kit. can see 21 kills on the board for Glaive, leading the charge in that respect. But that was a really important clutch for Tizian as Big make it to 11 rounds on the CT side of Dust2.
Safe to say a critical clutch. Because that, had Astralis gotten up to 13 rounds with the money and everything, it would have been looking a little dicey for Big. Instead, now Big are going to get a chance to farm a little bit. Although Astralis are just dancing on the edge, I think you go Deagle Kevlar if you're Astralis right now. I think you go Deagle Kevlar. You let Big have a chance to tie it up. Mega's going to go for the hero AK, but they're in that weird limbo where it's not enough to full buy, but you don't want a full save either. So, quick again here, Bubsky. Straight out in the pit, looking for the fight. Keto looking for that trade. 1-for-1 not happening. Just now, Mega's finally joining the fight with that AK, but Tabson. This is just a perfect hold from Big at long. Pure chaos, and yet somehow Big are the ones who coming out on top.
Glaive creeping out. Can see Tizian elevated, spotted.
What?
Patient final shot there from Glaive. And he has a minute 10 and maybe some weapons.
You should be able to recover Magisk's AK. There is, man. Like, where did Magisk die? Where's that AK? Okay, then. This is going to be very difficult unless you're to pre.
Oh,
what
my
a shot!
days.
What a shot! Now he has an op to play with.
Oh, he could go anywhere he wants now. It's a guessing game for Xantares. At least pushing through long tells him that he's not long. At least that's something. Glaive waiting for a peak. 38 seconds now. Does he start to look towards long, I wonder? Is timing going to be a factor here? Xantares going to creep out and get a free one, it looks like. Oh, man. So much potential for Astralis, but so much potential for Big as well. Oh, my God. Xantares stood on top of the AWP. And I don't know if he pressed E or what happened, but he didn't pick it up. I mean, they could buy one anyway, but...
a little head shake from him as well.
Yeah. Well then, that was a chance for Astralis. But instead it is 5 rounds in a row for Big, and they've tied the score. Looking to take this to a game of vertigo. RMR points on the line. Astralis getting close to breaking this run of rounds, but not quite getting there.
Just this duel now. They've kind of had a gentleman handshake now not to do the long rush. These weird flashes, though, really slowing Megas down on that push to mid. But after Bubsky makes a little bit of noise in upper dark, this is looking like they're going to start clearing out Catwalk. And with Catwalk clear, that sets up the B split if they want it. Here, Astralis. And so it looks like they are going to be thorough about it. They do manage to clear Cat, make sure that there's no quick rotation, but Tamsin's already down into CT. And so this spot that they checked earlier, let's see, Dupree holding the angle. Unfortunately for him, I don't think that Tamsin's going to be greedy enough to peek that. 35 seconds left on the clock here. It's going to be the B split, and this is going to be brutal. Tamsin's already in position to help out.
Lots of footsteps heard in mid. 20 seconds again. Astralis playing it so late. See what Tamsin chooses to do in that mid position. Xantares needs help, and maybe he's given him enough. A little bit blind, and Glaive is just stuck here outside B. At least he's pulled Xantares out of the B bomb site, which means the bomb can be planted. 3 versus 2 retake in favor of Astralis, looking to finally convert around now, as they've come close, but not close enough in the recent rounds. Tizian and Xantares, they're looking at eco territory if they lose this round. Decisions have to be made here. Seems to quietly fall away.
There was 3 seconds left in the round when that bomb got planted as well. So that is, you can't cut it much closer than that for Astralis. Keto is going to be kicking himself that he wasn't able to trade 1-for-1 at least with that peek in upper dark. Sure, you got the info, but that puts Xantares in such a difficult position. And again, Xantares having to come up with the goods. Save the AWP. Magus has found himself an M4. And that's Astralis getting up to 13 rounds. And so the gambit from last round worked. They saved for this round to make sure that they had enough money for it. And it works out positively for them. 3 rounds away now from securing 5th place in this tournament, Astralis. And Big are 4 rounds away from forcing this to a 3rd map. Shots, loads of damage getting dealt initially there. But this is the force buy coming in here from Big. They have put it all on the table in this round, not wanting to eat that round of eco and let Astralis get up to 14 for free. So the pressure is really on the German roster now to get something done here. And there it is, aggressive push into Upper Dark for info. Big, really playing bold here, getting this information early will allow them to just make some rotations and potentially set up a flank. Very quick rotation flank onto Catwalk. Xantares and Keto definitely hanging around here. This is a big deal. Big, what a play.
Yeah, how did they get into position in time, though? Lots of risk involved. Tizian by Blue, and there's a 2-man push, but the flashbangs, I don't know what happened there, but it's all going the way of Big Clan just when they need it. This is such a round from them. What a brilliant time for this to happen. And you start to look at the money on the side of Astralis as well. Disaster as far as they are concerned. They achieve almost nothing in this round, actually.
Let's get the perspective of Tizian again real quick, because I would, again, this just highlights the issue going into this. Only 17% trade percentage for Astralis. That's criminally low. It's actually one of the lowest in the tournament, and it's because of situations like this. Where are Glaive's teammates? Why are they not swinging immediately to trade that kill? What are they doing? So that's just weird. That's just a weird play there from Astralis.
Oh!
And there's Keto with the bold peek. Dupree just not able to react in time on that one.
Maybe encouraged by the AK tapping. Not the peak you see too often these days. Crouch
Nice.
peak will be punished by an AWP in the hands of Zipex. And we have a 4 versus 4 now. As these teams continue to try and play against how these rounds have been developing and what they've learned. Keto creeping in the mid position of the AWP, forced off his angle by a flashbang. Spotting one by Xbox. Oh, that's awkward.
Trying to hit the perfect angle, James.
We've seen a number of sub 30-second round pushes from Astralis, around a 22-second mark. So this one may come a little earlier than expected. There will be some very nice grenades thrown towards the tunnels. And now here comes the push. Bubsky will be the one to lead with the Desert Eagle. Keto around the flames, but still delivering the kill, still holding map control. Sees 2 on the push. He'll try and play off of Xantares, I'm sure. Support flashbangs for him, and then Magic has dropped. That leaves Zipex now to try and plant the bomb. Try and clutch the round in a 1 versus 3. Not going to happen this time. Big in the lead once more.
And Astralis clearly just kind of at a loss here. It's really struggling to get anything going for themselves. And we are going to get a timeout called. Is it a tech? Interesting. They're calling for the pause, so I'm assuming this is a tech. Because otherwise they would have to go for a tactical vote. Interesting. Glaive is having an issue real quick. He's going to square that away quickly here. Shouldn't be too long. And so this is just the round where now Astralis, they have just enough for a buy. Just enough for a buy. What is the round that they decide to call here, though? No AWP in mid, and so you don't really have to worry about that for Dupree. Yeah, you don't have the money for an op. Technical timeout, though, so the player shouldn't be talking. That's one thing. But, of course, you know, unless the admins are on top of that, the players are going to obviously do whatever they want.
Interesting situation for Astralis. Got force of $4,500 on 3 of the 5 players. Zipex and Dupree are somewhat short. So let's see how many AKs they bring into this one. Glaive pulling out the Mac-10. Interesting. So he'll buy the Mac-10 and leave $1,000 in the hole.
We've got a stop call.
Magiska and Zipex look to go for the full force buy, so interesting. Let's see what they do on a second attempt. An unusual buy was coming out there.
Well, okay then. Nothing was shown, at least. It happened quickly enough. It doesn't look like anything was shown, but this is really interesting stuff here from Astralis. I'm like thinking of Martina Hingis taking weird timeouts back in tennis.
Dude, I used to love Martina Hingis, man.
Dude, she was beast.
But she was also
she also knew how to play that game of just, like, you know what, I'm going to take a timeout right now, in key moments of a match just to try and throw her opponents off. And right now I'm getting those kind of vibes from Astralis. I mean, fair enough, if the tech issues are happening, they're happening, but these timeouts could really just be messing with Big. So now, well, 14-13, Big in the lead on the CT side, and once again, 2-1-2 kind of setup here for Big on the CT side. Tabson rotated into mid. Kind of a catch-all approach here from Big, and as I say that, Tabson just inching his way closer to the B site. This is going to be a slaughter.
Shooting gallery for Keto, swing and a miss. May need to play up with the teammates now. Suddenly, there are multiple CTs to find. Very laborious attempt there with the Mac-10 from Glaive. Yeah, I don't know why he went for the Mac-10 rather than the AK there. Because he had... I mean, he still got money, so it's given him an option. I think it was like a speculative purchase.
Tizian just looks so pleased.
4,400.
Tizian just looks so pleased there, that grin. Well, it is looking like we are going to be getting Vertigo here, barring some kind of miracle coming in from Astralis. It's going to be the straight-up spread across the map now for Astralis. Default kind of approach. Glaive running down Suicide. Zip holding long. Bubsky in Upper Dark. And we'll get Magus. Actually, will he peek behind this? He will. So trying to clear mid. Getting a little of information. And nicely done. Forcing Searson back off of Catwalk is important. So now we're going to get into a bit more of a standard approach here from Astralis. Tabson is still in CT, though, again. But the last time, this could work because Zipnix was able to get up close to him and take him out of the fight early. So if they do decide to split B here, Astralis, now that they've cleared out Cat, Glaive is going to put the Lurk smoke up over there towards A site, so that's going to make things confusing. For a Big Clan, they can't be certain now that this is going to be a B hit with that Cat smoke. But here we go, flash out into mid. Magus first to die. Fine, fair enough, he had a deagle. This is getting a bit awkward, though.
Yeah, almost a collateral there. That was such an important kill. It didn't go their way. 2 versus 2, though. The bomb still has to be rescued. 37 seconds to do it. There is a lot on the line here, and Tizian moves into position, but there'll be some 2v1 situations here for Astralis. I don't know if they hear that sound cue.
I think it's too far, yeah.
Yeah, either way, they don't really have the time either. Flashbang towards the bomb site, and they'll post up. I don't know how they get onto the bomb site to plant a bomb. Oh, they'll be heading towards Cat, actually, and Searson has the angle. So does Tizian. Down goes Bubsky. Dupree now going straight into the hands of Searson. Big do it on the CT side. Didn't think it would come, but they strung a lot of rounds together and really stabilized, and then some. 16-13 for Big Clan.
And a terrific performance from Big on their map. It needed to get it done. They had to absolutely win this map in this series to stay alive. And now we go into Vertigo, which is also, in a way, Big's pick. So it'll be interesting to see what they have in store for us there on that map.
Yeah, that map will come after some talk from the analysts about Dust2. They will see you after the break.